Greetings! I am Lies and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal and I use they, them.
And let's play a game together!
There is no door. Not anymore. In its place is a great stone gate, wrapped with grapevines. Beyond, I can see hints of another realm.
I would tend to say a gate is a door, dear.
Yes, a gate is considered to be a gateway, a doorway.
It's a type of door.
It's a type of entrance. Gated entrance.
No door anymore, only a door.
So,
I would tend to say the door's changed. Somehow, that feels too easy. Be on your guard, Coruscant. It feels too easy when we are in Astra's magic space, using Astra's magic?
And also too easy for what? That wasn't the normal door at all. Wouldn't we go back to where we were, even though we were knocked unconscious? So what did Nadia actually see? Did Nadia go, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you that there was a trick door last time. There was a trick entranceway that you had to be wary of, but you were unconscious and I've seen it.
I think what she's saying is, it was far too easy. Fixing Volta. There's got to be another thing to it.
I guess.
All right. Be on your guard, Coruscant. As if you haven't before.
Oh,
you have not been until this point. Do so now.
My apologies.
Excellent. You'll be brilliant at it.
Together, we enter the gate.
Because you can't do anything alone.
Not even slightly.
Unless she does it first.
Oh, God, that's actually really cool looking. So actually that reminds me, so we were having a brief discussion right before we started about going, so I still want to know who are the individuals who are painted specifically
in that big painting.
In that big painting, where Lucio is like, everybody is animals, and I am the head animal of the animals. Why would he see himself one as an animal, especially since most people... Actually, so like the concept of animals having any amount of sentience or having feelings in its own way has been basically debated back and forth for a long ass time. And some horrible things have been done to animals, and actually that was, that's why I'm like, so...
I say, often, if someone equates someone else to an animal, it is to look down upon them. So if you then make yourself an animal, it muddies...
It seems strange.
Muddies the analogy.
Yeah, just a bit. So I'm like, why would you do that? So then I still though want to know who else was in the picture, because now I can go, okay, the dove was, I think, Nadia, because it's that little
Hold
cuff
on.
thing. What?
I have an idea.
What?
Okay, so he goes and he commissions this beautiful portrait, right?
It has all his bros stand for it.
Well, he is no, and he gets it all done in secret, right? And doesn't tell anyone about it. And he puts it up there, and he assumes no one will know who anyone is, and it will be his own private, mocking of everyone and joke. And they all go, of course I fucking know that's me. And he's like, no, you don't know who that is.
What? No, it's a mystery.
Oh no, it's just a beautiful portrait.
It's a mystery wrapped in an enigma. No, nothing. They're
yes.
like, that's you. That's your makeup. Shut up, bitch. Great carved arches soar over our heads as we step through into the halls. It looks like a mosque.
It's very pretty.
Like, genuinely, that's a really pretty, like, a sort of mosque effect. It's really lovely.
I love the carved pillars, too. That's really neat.
Yeah, it's really gorgeous. All around us is deafening silence. And a terrible stillness in the air, with a soft plinking music in the background that feels a little not like deafening silence. Feels a little bit like,
Hang on.
It just stopped.
I think the music stopped when you advanced it.
Nope, it's back.
Never mind.
It was looping. That was its loop.
I was going to say,
oh God!
Did it work? Did it become the deafening? No.
No.
Hey, deafening silence. Little musician sitting in the corner. Ping, ping. Excuse you.
Hi. What? Rude. Also, again, I'd be like, so all around us is deafening silence and a terrible stillness in the air. If you're trying to make us uncomfortable, this looks really fucking pretty. If you could change maybe, the color palette a little bit.
Make it a little more uneasy.
To make it be more uneasy. I'm not saying that it isn't beautiful, but I'm saying, visual sort of design would just be a little bit like, hey.
Or make the music uneasy.
Right?
Just something atmospherically.
Right. It feels like the entire world is holding its breath, waiting for something.
Clearly waiting for something bad, not just waiting for something, because so many people hold their breath when they're waiting for something good.
Right.
Like so many people.
Yeah.
This place feels familiar. Where's Astra sent us? No, we're still dealing with Volta. Oh, okay.
She trails her fingers over the marble frieze. I told myself I wasn't going to do that because I really was tempted to go. It's the marble friezes.
Oh.
That's the marble frieze.
Okay.
But I tried not to do Frieza because my brain went over the marble DBZ reference is actually what I almost did. So that's why I fucked that up because I was trying not to laugh. Okay. All right. Marble Frieza set into the walls.
Temple has a bunch of Friezas just scowling at you.
That would make me uneasy. Corazon, what the hell is this art style?
Whoa.
Whoa!
Okay, now I'm concerned.
Now I'm worried.
All right.
Mm.
It reminds me of someone. The temple?
What?
But I can't place my finger on who. The place reminds you of someone. I don't know that I've ever been to a place that has reminded me of a person. That's interesting.
I mean, you could go like, I guess if you'd moved from some area, you could go, hey, this area reminds me of somebody that I know, like, because it just feels so much like them and their aesthetic.
Like a place they would be?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I could see that, but I'm deeply confused as to who, because I don't see Lucio as existing in a mosque.
Well,
and then also, like,
yes.
I'm a little... Anyway.
Who?
She shakes her head and looks over at me.
What do you feel, Corazon, with your magical wizard senses, with your elf eyes? What do you see? Sorry.
Yes. What do you? I try to focus on the air around me, listening, feeling.
I try.
On magic that I really haven't bothered to define or interact with much at all still. Just like before, I feel strangely welcome here. Necessary.
So I'm interested if going, did Corazon come in and look at the ceiling? And if so, do they see this? And if so, do they go, it's one of the Arcana, because I've seen them in my deck forever.
Right?
Astra's deck, forever.
I mean, except for the fact that
I don't know if it
like,
actually is.
That's not the devil card.
No,
the
it's
ears
not.
are much shorter.
No, it's not a devil card. I was just like, it looks like an Arcana.
It does look like an Arcana. I wonder if this is supposed to be the Hierophant, which is interesting, because I'm like, you have a goat and a sheep?
I don't know.
Most people get them mixed up pretty strongly, though. So I was like, I would feel like you'd want a more visually, like, contrasting thing. Yeah. But maybe that's kind of part of the thing is a wolf in sheep's clothing. So you have the Jacob's goat with the overly long ears, and then you have basically the sheep. So you think one is the other.
I don't even care about any of that because I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Going, this looks like an Arcana and seems like something I may have seen in the deck at some point. So if it's in the deck, you'd think Corazon would comment on it?
I don't think I've ever seen this card before, if that's true. Anyway, necessary, even. The realm wants us here, I think.
That is what I am worried about. Wait, this is a realm? We don't think this is part of Astra's pocket dimension anymore.
Well, remember how they did say there's the hint of a realm through there and going, this is far too easy. Like, I thought that was weird about the choice of thing, and then we were both like, what, you mean Astra's realm, where we're in? That he's just able to create pocket dimensions, his own pocket realms? So I guess this means officially that we've moved on to another realm?
Outside of Astra's thing that he's doing for us.
Because usually we had to perform some amount of either interesting magic or we have to follow Scout in order to go from one Arcana realm to another?
I don't know, maybe it's something else. Let's see. Worried. I'm deeply worried.
Nadia?
Support me.
Boink!
Thank you.
Nadia takes my hand as we explore further, venturing into the endless room. Sorry, you guys can't see what we're doing. Whatever was once here, it feels like nothing but a ruin covered in dust now.
Whatever was once here?
Yes. It looks like there's a lot of gorgeous frescoes, immaculate painted art that honestly doesn't look like it's peeling, cracked, anything falling apart.
We haven't described any of it as falling
apart. We haven't!
We're in this beautiful place with marble friezes. Freezes, yeah. With it freeze things in place. Marble photographs.
Yeah, you either got frescoes or you got freezes, so.
Okay.
Yeah, eventually we turned down a hall with a single door at the end, warmly lit by torches. Why does this whole place sound actually quite welcoming? Like, I can't get over them going, seems like it's holding its breath, it seems stillness and off and blah, blah, blah. But everything seems like the descriptors are actually using this. It's actually all very welcoming. And again, then the music is very warm.
Well, and Corazon said they feel like they're welcomed. But also, apparently, they're sus?
Yeah, I don't understand what's going on. Anyway, I'm having some...
dissonance. Tonal dissonance.
Dissonance here. It seems contrasted too strong. All of the concern leaves Nadia's face as she recognizes the door. Her eyes light up.
I was going to say, it's my library. Oh, sorry. The library?
The library?
Oh, my. Corazon, do you know what this is?
I'm sure you're going to tell me. I stare at the door. A scene of satyrs frolicking in a vineyard decorates its front.
Capital satyrs.
I was also going...
Lowercase Satan.
Yeah, lowercase. I was like, so we're going to go involve ourselves with Dionysus, then? Who's going to get into a mad sort of fury?
I mean...
Who eventually might just kill us?
Question, does that exist here?
I don't know. But
Do
there's
gods-
there's a lot of imagery from other cultures that I feel like are sort of slapdash thrown in here.
I was like, do gods exist other than the Arcana?
Are the Arcana even considered to be gods? So some people have pointed out culturally that actually lots of other cultures around the world, particularly if they're not from like Christian or like I think Jewish, they don't actually use basically God. That's not proper at all. The way that we seem to think of gods is not how a lot of other cultures describe their experience at all.
Nope. And so there are many times where we go, yes, you're gods, and it's like that's only the translation we've used.
Yes.
No.
Now, in a vineyard decorates its front. And the only reason I'm making reference to the Dionysian basically madness is because I'm like, if you're going to go for that contrast of everything's very warm, very welcoming, but it could eventually turn into this horrific thing, that's very Dionysian. Like, a Dionysian madness is an actual thing, and it's a little horrifying.
Interestingly, I would be like, do we know what satyrs are?
Actually, that's an excellent point.
A question that I've had.
Do satyrs exist in our mythology?
Did Astra teach us what satyrs are? I've seen them in a book once.
As per everything in here, if you have a question.
Creatures with legs of goats and horns on their head, frolic about. I think they're called satyrs. I read it in a book once. I saw it in one of Astra's books. Sorry. I do believe it's the Hierophant's wine cellar. Why the fuck would you know that?
Why would you know that?
Why do you even know who the Hierophant is? I thought the Arcana you knew who was
just the High Priestess.
You know multiple Arcanas?
I thought that, like, okay, so we've had a couple of people say that, like, each of these characters is, like, sort of bound to specific Arcana.
Strongly tied to one.
Yeah,
of them.
and it seems like Astra, based on what we think and what we've joked about with Solitaire, which, if you don't know, you'd have to go watch the entire Julian thing, but that's fine. More watching for you. Is just that Astra's probably, like, the only one who's actually seen them all.
Yes.
In my personal opinion. So this seems really odd to have anybody really, because it seems like in the overarching world, nobody seems to really care about the Arcana at all.
Nor do they seem to be like a
other
conversation
than their
piece.
own Arcana, if they know about them at all. And then, like, Astra is the only one who's like, oh yes, all these things implied, but it's not necessarily explicit. So there's a difference between explicit and implicit sort of thing, or implied.
And the interesting thing is the I believe in the game there's even an understanding of you have to be closely tied to one of them to be able to see them. You need a strong connection. I think they even explained that in Julian's route. And so if she has a very strong connection to the High Priestess, does she also have one to the Hierophant, or did the High Priestess just have him over for tea one time?
And she was there as a child, and I perfectly remember this experience, and I remember going to the Hierophant's wine cellar!
And they both spiked their tea, but not mine.
Right.
Because I was a child. No, mine was spiked too. I got drunk on
I was about to
ass.
say, you'd be a child though from a different culture, and you getting drunk probably wouldn't be inappropriate. It's fine.
Wine cellar.
Or a little bit tipsy, I should say. She gives me a slow, mischievous grin and fiddles with the lock, but it doesn't give.
There was a lock?
Why does she give me a slow, mischievous grin? Is it because we suddenly brought up booze and now we have to be silly about booze? Is that what this is about? Oh, I know what this is! I've gotten blasted here!
Kind of. It's also sort of this is someone's private store of some shit. We could get into it.
That seems really
Look! It's
aggressive?
my mom's, like, chocolate box kind of thing.
Which seems...
It's the cookie jar.
Again, she's always, like, I love this thing about Nadia, where, like, she's very contained. I'm like, she's very juvenile still, in a lot of ways.
All right.
And it's very interesting. Anyway.
What gives? Not the door.
But it doesn't give. It's the gift that doesn't give.
Surely, if the Hierophant wants us here...
What?
Then he, would not be such a terrible host as to deny us access.
Rude.
Why do you know?
You are the guest! You don't go running through somebody else's house and go rip out wine out of their wine house. Thank you?
Wine house.
Their wine. I don't care. Get out of their wine cellar. Because I forgot
keep.
cellar. My wine keep. We got a shop keep. We got a toy keep.
A tea keep.
A tea keep. And we got a wine keep. But I'm like, that's so rude. That's actually why I was really surprised, going, Nadia, are you trying to rob the Hierophant?
Also going, how do you fucking know who the Hierophant is?
I know!
Nadia, excuse me, Nadia.
How do you know?
How do you know where we are?
I would like an explanation.
That would be lovely.
Because the thing is that would give me an enormous amount of pause. Nadia going, oh no, this is the Hierophant's wine cellar. Character, tilts head. Have you been here before?
Also,
To the Hierophant's realm?
also,
are you wont to trying to nick wine from an Arcana's fucking wine cellar?
Yes. Is it in your
Is
behavior
it polite
to steal things
from
the Arcana?
the inside of their body where they could crush you?
Also, though, I want a confirmation or a denial from our MC. Just the MC themselves. I think we're the Hierophant's realm. The person who's actually been training in the subject matter does not comment on it in any way. Doesn't go, oh, that seems about right. Really? How interesting. No, I think you're wrong. Nothing. Like, we have
The
no...
character that is supposed to be the magician's apprentice.
And
With the guy who was the one who was like, I will deal with the Arcana, and I have the tarot that I will just randomly hand to you.
With the access to the Arcana, because that's what that is.
Yeah, exactly.
And that no one else has that. And you're just going... let me have a strong opinion about this thing would be one of the specific things you'd be educated and disciplined on. And going, and I have no reaction to your strong, bold opinion. None. No thoughts
whatsoever.
on it.
I'm so...
None even of, that's what I was looking at.
This is rude as hell. Sorry.
Deny us access? I'll pick the lock. Oh.
I'm gonna finger the body of the Hierophant.
I'll just put
Pick
a
the
tool
body.
in there. If I work it correctly,
Maybe it'll open.
it could open. And how often does one get the chance to sample an Arcana's magical reserves? Okay, is
Why
wine
do
a
you-
magical thing? Or is it magical wine because it's in the Arcana's realm? What are magical reserves? And how often? Well, how many of them have fed you, Nadia?
Dear?
Or given you drink?
What is
Nadia?
this?
I
This is so weird.
also going, surely they would want us, but also it's a chance, you can't pass it up. So are you trying to basically
Again,
convince
are you
yourself
trying
this is
to
okay?
be a thief? Oh my god, a chance to sample. You mean thief?
Because
The door is locked.
well, surely they didn't mean it for to be locked. It's a puzzle.
Locked door.
Magical reserves. Clearly the opportunity is worth the cost, I guess. Corazon, I want in. Can you open the door?
What?
At this point, this feels weirdly magically compelled.
I was going to say, this seems also just weird.
I was gonna say, this seems so Now, she's not great at staying on task. Like, she's not.
None of them, I imagine, are, because we have to have as many romantic moments as possible, and they all seem...
But barring all of
Yeah.
that, she usually mentions or asks for or thinks about a break. And she's not right now.
Maybe this is
She's
a break.
going-
I want to get drunk.
But she is in the next step of going, yes, Volta will not be that easy. And then going, shit, fine, bro. And I'm like,
That's-
that feels like something has grabbed hold of your consciousness. On the other hand, it's like, she clearly feels welcomed here as well, because if the Hierophant wants us here, now you've said in your head it feels welcoming, despite looking derelict, dusty, and unkempt. Somehow.
And also unfriendly. Yeah, that I don't understand it either.
It feels one and looks the other, which can happen. I was gonna say, but like, she has suddenly just lost all of her focus. This really does. This feels very sus.
feels strange.
What?
I knew it!
Motherfucker!
I fucking know.
What? Oh my god.
This was Nadia getting off task again.
That is the fucking weirdest segue, though, of going... I mean, let Nadia into the wine cellar. Let Nadia steal shit from an Arcana. Does not sound
That
romantic.
we both don't actually know, and she won't elaborate on any further.
And I haven't... And our MC hasn't confirmed or denied that they actually think this is that Arcana or anything about it.
Yeah, I'm really uncomfortable.
Also, the imagery described is that even though, again, the like physically, emotionally, the place feels welcoming, but the imagery described is uncomfortable.
Yeah, like that is an actual tonal dissonance.
Also, again, our character has no curiosity of, one, how do you know this is the Hierophant's realm? And two, you know what the door to his personal wine cellar looks like. Where did you learn that?
Nadia,
Nadia, I feel like
darling.
what happens in the Arcana stays in the Arcana, eh?
Except that they could just kill you.
I
Why
guess.
would they care? It's fine. Anyway, I don't think we should.
Beautiful.
But it would be like, Nadia, perhaps you could help me find our guest.
Yeah.
Or, you know, the owner
Our
of
host,
this lovely place.
host.
Our host. Nadia, let's be polite and, you know, like you're actually a princess / countess?
Like you're actually
Actually, like-
royalty that has been invited somewhere else, which isn't I'll go show myself around to everything.
Do you
It's
know
I'll
what
wait to be
kills me?
served.
If we were invited here, then we just walked in and tried to thieve out of the wine stores instantly.
Yep.
If I was the Hierophant, I'd be like, Wow. I am not talking to you.
Also, the realm doesn't seem to be leading you anywhere except there, so, like, not hosting you, really. You just happen to be here.
Yeah.
Because there are so many places we've been in that deliberately led us to a doorway, to a gateway, to an opening, to an alcove, to a something.
I would also say, due to the lack of interest in the MC just that they've written, you wouldn't actually go for this really either, because your characters literally said nothing. It's just all been about Nadia pushing this forward, and your characters actually had no interest.
Our character has not reacted except to describe this bit. Have we even spoken much in this scene?
I don't think we've spoken at all.
I think it was in our head.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're not going to.
Yeah.
I don't think we should. We do not want to be rude AF.
We don't want to be bad guests.
Oh my god. Nadia lets out a deep sigh and looks at the door with longing.
Corazon, why won't you accommodate me the things that I desire? It'd be so good.
I don't have a body. Pep.
By the way, I'm also in the process of dying here. What?
Huh?
You don't want to get me the thing that I want.
But you don't want to get completely fucking drunk.
Time works differently here, Corazon. You're not going to be dead until after that. After what?
After what?
Time works differently here, so after we leave, I guess. Never before then. We can stay here for 1 billion years.
No, this is not Inception.
I suppose logic prevails. You're right. I don't think that's logic.
This is not logic.
That's sense. Okay, so, like, Corazon didn't make any logical points or arguments of any kind.
Logic? There wasn't any!
Corazon, I don't think we should. Very logical argument, not thinking.
I'd be like, Nadia, there was no logical argument put forward. It was just I don't think we should do that.
I love it. Okay.
Hello? I don't think we should do that. Brilliant debater, child!
I was going to say, you've got Sherlock Holmes in a room standing there going, well, the course of action could be such and the other based on all the facts so far. I don't think we should do that. Your logic is impeccable.
Flawless. Oh my god! Because I have things that I could say socially, which are not necessarily logical at all. In fact, the argument about going, hi, by the way, you're visiting whatever, you shouldn't go rob somebody's house.
Just because they've let you in the front door doesn't mean you should go to their wine cabinet.
That is a social construct. In fact, most social behaviors, if not all of them, are in fact social constructs and all made up. So there is no logic, really, to be had.
Also, the level of, like, familiarity of going, I was wandering in, just in places, and suddenly I arrived at a place I sort of recognized, and then I recognized a piece of it. You didn't really specifically recognize the temple in any notable way. You just went, I know that wine cellar.
That is the weird... I don't understand this. Okay, anyway, that's
walks into a mysterious house, goes and, I recognize that wine cellar. And you show up
recognize that wine cellar anywhere.
Anywhere, exactly. All right. We have better things to do than sample magical reserves, apparently.
She tosses another wistful look at the door. God, you were hornier for that door than you ever were for me. And then leads me away down the hall.
I'm a little offended.
Wow. Because, really, I was like, the game is clearly trying to make you feel guilty. Well, there's nothing wrong with doing that. You should have done that. No!
I'm gonna say,
this is bad fucking manners.
It's what she wanted, though. Don't you want to do what she wants with her? What do I want, dear game?
Game?
Well, if you do it with her, it means you want that.
No, either that or... No.
It can also mean I feel compelled. I still do work for her.
And also I've been guilted, or I feel forced, or the fact she's my countess and there's a power... Never mind, I'm not...
Corazon.
She cuts herself off as a wailing moan echoes from somewhere further within the structure.
Oh, I'm sorry. Corazon!
These are our wailing moans.
Yes. Someone else is here. You mean you don't think the Hierophant's here and that we're guests to them? It's just someone else. Oh no, he might have a third guest.
Oh no!
How rude.
They sound like they're having a great time.
Or someone else is here. Clearly they were not invited, unlike us.
What logic is that, Nadia? How do you know? Oh yes, this is Hierophant. How do you
Sees
know?
a door with satyrs doing what satyrs do, which means everything in excess and joy.
Yeah.
And here's a wailing moan. Oh, sounds like somebody's found something fun else. Some other
That's why
kind of fun.
Really?
I say, perhaps the reason the Hierophant isn't hosting you is
Oh.
that he's busy.
Is that a Dionysian? It's it is a Dionysian madness, isn't it? And then
I
there's the
believe so.
Bacchian.
Yeah, there's that one too.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it's
It's
called.
okay, there's a couple of different
There is,
varieties.
yes,
Being wine madness is actually quite popular around.
It is, and a lot of people like to use it as an excuse.
Someone else is here. I thought we were alone in the stranger's house who was hosting us. Damn it.
Oh look, it's the dungeon in the castle. Oh, wait, we follow the sound to another set of stairs leading down into darkness. Cautiously, we descend. I summon a warm orb of light to float nearby, illuminating a circle in front of us. Magic that I've never before, I think, actually really illustrated in being able to do. I don't think I've done that before, or have I done that before?
Trying
I think
to remember
have.
if you did
I did it
light...
in Julian's route, I remember that.
Right. Trying to remember if Corazon
Or
used...
Nerd did it, excuse me, in Julian's route.
Did Corazon, light up Lucio's room or something like that?
I kind of want to say we did.
I think we might have.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I would say, but it's, it's just...
It really is just like
An
magic
orb.
is super offhand in this route compared to even in Julian's route where it was very awkwardly interacted with. It's really barely here in this one.
There was a lot more in Julian's, though, going of, I figure out how to do this.
Yeah.
I pull it from within me. I sort of do spellcraft in the moment,
Mhm.
or remember something I saw Astra do.
I know, right? At it in front of us.
Stay close. Alright, so are we still in the Hierophant's realm? Why is his basement so dingy?
Rude.
I say, excuse me.
This gorgeous mosque and then the basement. Ew.
You. You need to get the staff down here immediately.
Son, you have never been to your own basement?
Aye.
Huh? What? It feels more cramped down here, more closed off from the rest of the realm.
The rest of it felt dusty and empty, but it was
And
certainly
unfriendly.
large. Certainly large.
We passed skeletons settled into little alcoves, adorned with gilded crowns.
Gildan.
Gilden crowns.
I don't know what Gildan means.
I think gilden is exactly the same as gilded, and I don't think it's supposed to be gilden. Because gilden is a process of gilding. Like you're working on gilding the crown?
Is it?
Yeah, gilden. We are
Okay.
gildening the crown.
Right.
I think it's a slight misuse, but I could be
We
mistaken.
might look that one up in a minute.
Heavy necklaces. We must be in the catacombs. A skull with rubies in its eye sockets, which is totally from a Disney movie, seems to follow our movements as we go deeper in.
That never happens. Ever.
Not even slightly.
There is the noise again. You mean the wailing that neither of us talked about out loud? We just followed silently together?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think that was mentioned out loud at all. I think that was just, we hear a wailing and go that direction. What's Gildan, if you got it? Is it just like a way to conjugate gilded?
It might be, actually. It's
Alright.
just slightly different.
There's the noise again.
So it looks like, actually... So according to Merriam-Webster.com, Gildan isn't even a word for, Merriam-Webster Online, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's not.
Okay.
But, it just immediately corrects to gilded.
Okay.
And, definitions.net, they actually try to correct you because it seems like the word isn't real. And then the only other one where it actually shows up is the freedictionary.com, and it just tries to gently correct into gilded. It says Gildan was also found in Wikipedia, so does Wikipedia. Gildan is a surname, according to the Wiktionary? No, it's the encyclopedia.
So I'm wondering, maybe it's a slang then?
I don't...
Of going, everyone's saying Gildan means gilded only?
Yeah, I'm
Or-
it looks like the word doesn't actually exist. Gildan, hang on.
Hang on.
Gildan exists as an etymology from Middle English Gildan, Gelden, or Gulden, from English Gelden, from Proto-West Germanic Gulden, from Proto-Germanic, I have no idea how the hell to say that, and Golba, so golden. So it is made of gold.
That's it.
It's very obsolete, according to this one.
Made of gold. Gildan. Alright.
Yeah, it says third person singular, simple present gildens, present participle gildening, simple past, and past participle gildened.
Alright.
Transitive or intransitive, to make or become golden or gilded quotation.
Interesting esoteric choice.
Yeah, I'm like, that is really strange, but I'm also like, the Merriam-Webster's like, it doesn't exist.
I'm also,
what did
it
you
went
do?
from wailing to a noise.
I know! Okay, noise around a corner until we come upon a small bundle curled up on the floor.
Oh.
Cautiously, Nadia reaches out and moves the cloth from it. revealing a withered, pathetic creature. It slowly lifts its gaunt head, and I can just barely make out curving ram horns.
Oh. That's the Hierophant. They're tiny. Like a baby.
I mean, if the devil was hiding something in the Hierophant's realm, it sounds like the Hierophant has been subjugated on some level for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So that seems reasonable. Which is also again where I was like, Nadia, why are we suddenly going booze?
Also, I was going, okay.
Would we get booze? Oh my god, would you booze?
So I would suspect if the Hierophant has been in trouble in some fashion, which this certainly suggests is that's not their regular appearance.
Yes.
Taking part in part of their power is not going to help them.
No!
Oh, look, this is a thing you created that is a piece of you. Let us consume it while you are weak. Ew. Ow,
That's
uncomfortable.
awful.
That would make me so uncomfortable. Goes to someone's house, and then like, oh no, I recognize this place, it's okay. They would totally host us, and then being like, no, this is fine. You know what, we should totally eat their food. Does so, and then you realize that they are sick and starving in the other room.
Because they've been so badly, basically, I guess, like, enslaved? That would be awful.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Hierophant.
But you know, we're going to have to find out possibly what they look like
in the next one.
Hey!
Oh, damn.
So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos. Interacting with the video actually does a lot for us.
It does.
In regards to the YouTube algorithm, please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi, Patreon, or our Twitch. We have some links in the description down below, and we'd love to see you in those locations. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies. And it was great playing with you. Bye-bye!